Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Han Solo. I'm Captain of the Millennium Falcon.
Bond.
Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
Hasta la vista, baby.
Say hello to my little friend!
Here's Johnny.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th episode of the Snack and Chat. Welcome back. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day in this chaotic world right now. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably been like the weirdest week of my life, and I'm sure for you as well. I mean, you just haven't seen anything like this in probably ever, so there's that. But anyways, I didn't really think there's going to be that much news to talk about today, but there surprisingly is quite a bit of news to talk about today, so let's start cracking down on some of this news. And the first topic that we will talk about today is Black Widow. Now, Black Widow was scheduled to release on May 1st of this very year, but however, due to the coronavirus, it has been pushed back to when? We are yet to find out. Now, this was kind of inevitable to happen, I guess you can say, but I looked at the release schedule, kind of like what I did for A Quiet Place 2, and I think I did the same thing with Mulan as well. And I looked at the release schedule to see any other release dates that that Black Widow could possibly fit into. Now, it's not going to be June, obviously, because I'm sure this is obviously going to carry into June. And you even saw another movie in Minions also being postponed. And that comes out in July, so what's that going to say about the June releases, like a Wonder Woman 1984 or some of the other ones? So there's also that. But back to Black Widow. So I looked at the release schedule to see where it could possibly release at after July, I'm guessing. Maybe the end of October. I think the end of October could probably be a good release date for Black Widow, because of the fact that you have 3 weekends between that weekend and from when Godzilla vs. King Kong comes out, and we'll be talking about that very shortly as well. Now, this is obviously going to impact Eternals, because Eternals is supposed to come out the first week of November, and to be honest, there's no solution to this where Eternals or the whole entire MCU as a whole is not affected. I mean, we're even seeing movies, some MCU movies that are currently in production being stalled, so that's going to affect its release date. So there's no solution to this where the Eternals or the MCU as a whole is not affected. So I personally think probably the end of October could be a good release date for that. And I know Venom comes out the same month, but that's at the beginning of the month, so you definitely got a good range there. And yes, I know you got a lot of big horror movies there, but that's a different audience than Black Widow, so there's that. Now let's hop into our second topic, which is King Kong vs. Godzilla, which is slated to come out later this year, I believe in November or so. Yes, November, because I just talked about it. It's supposed to come out in November. And one of the stars of the film, Isaac Gonzalez, whom you may have seen in films such as Hobbs and Shaw or Baby Driver, she has come out and said this: These movies take a long time in King Kong vs. Godzilla because there's a lot of CGI in them. But yeah, we've done everything, and they're just going through and creating these incredible characters. I'm just really excited to see it because it's these two worlds colliding. The fan base for Godzilla vs. Kong is incredible. When I say I'm in the movie, people are like, oh my god. Seeing that fanaticism and seeing how excited they are to see this movie makes me really excited. I think fans are going to be really happy, and director Adam Wingard is so talented. Both stories are going parallel, as you'll see, without giving anything away. It's a large cast as well, and it's really fun to be a part of. There's so much going on, but the heart of it's 2 young girls as well, which is such a positive message for society nowadays. It's just incredible. Now, the big thing that came out of this quote is that this film, Godzilla vs. King Kong, is going to be centered around these 2 young girl characters. Now, I have no problem with that. If, and this is a big if these characters are at least interesting and entertaining, which has been a bit of a struggle with these monster movies lately, King of the Monsters. And if you don't get away from the reason that people are sitting in their seats in the first place to watch this movie, and that is Godzilla vs. King Kong. So at least if you do that, I'm fine with this, because who knows, maybe these two girl characters could be awesome characters. Maybe you're just like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, plus you get Godzilla vs. King Kong. So as long as you do that, I'm actually fine with this. I'm actually fine with this, as long as they're interesting and entertaining and compelling characters, and you don't get away from the fact that we're here to watch Godzilla vs. King Kong, then I have no problem. But I have no problem with this. So that's what I think about that. So let's move on to the next topic. And the next topic comes from a galaxy far, far away, and that is this. So, Slash Film has come out and said that Rosario Dawson, who has appeared in shows such as Daredevil, is supposedly casted to be Ahsoka Tano for Mandalorian Season 2. Now, I personally like the Ahsoka Tano character. She obviously first appeared in Clone Wars, then she went into Rebels. I think in Rebels is where she really shined for me personally. I haven't seen all of Clone Wars, but what I've seen, she's just like, whatever. I don't really care for you as much, but in Rebels I thought she was a pretty cool character. Now, again, now the big question for me when it comes to this is that I wonder what the look of the character would look like in a live action form, because to me, I think the look of the character looks better in an animation form rather than a live action form, in my opinion. Now, I think the choice of Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka Tano is a pretty good choice. I think she's a pretty good actress. Now, as far as her appearing in Season 2 Mandalorian, I think that could be pretty cool to see. The only thing that I have with this is that I don't know how the transfer as far as visually between animation to live action will look for the character, so I do have a bit of hesitancy when it comes to at least the visual of the character. So I think she could be a pretty cool addition to Mandalorian Season 2, as long as the character doesn't look goofy. So there's that. So with that said, let's hop into the fourth topic, and that is this. So a couple rumors were going around the other day that Charlie Cox's Daredevil was in fact going to appear in Spider-Man 3. Now, Kevin Smith has come out and said this, basically debunking that rumor and saying, well, I too hope this rumor is true. Just remember, I only talked about it with Mark Bernandin on Fat Man Beyond after I read about it on the internet just like everyone else. This means I have no inside info, much like everybody else. I'm just a hopeful fan. Now, let's say, and obviously this isn't, well, as far as we know, this isn't going to happen, but let's say this were to happen. Just, you know, let's just imagine this was going to happen. I don't see a reason why you need Charlie Cox's Daredevil in Spider-Man 3. I don't see why you need him there. I personally love Charlie Cox's Daredevil, though. I mean, I love all 3 seasons of Daredevil. I think he's awesome as Daredevil. But let's say that I go in to go watch Spider-Man 3, and then out of nowhere you just see Daredevil come in. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that'd be a pretty exciting moment, because, trust me, it would be a pretty exciting moment, especially if it is Charlie Cox's Daredevil himself. So with that said, let's hop into the fifth and final topic today. And the final topic is this. So the drive-in theaters, yes, the drive-in theaters. They're having some pretty good success lately due to the fact that a lot of the movie theaters are shutting down due to the coronavirus. So a lot of people are going to the drive-in theaters. Now, when I heard this, I was like, oh, that's actually really cool to hear that the drive-ins are having some pretty good success in the last week or so, because the drive-in theaters haven't seen this type of success in such a long time. And then once I heard how few of them there are in the United States, I was like, oh, wow. And I mean, I personally like going to a drive-in, even though it could get cold sometimes, but I personally love going to a drive-in. I think the atmosphere is tons of fun. And look, yes, the scenario in which the drive-ins are getting the success is not the best, but it's awesome to hear that they're doing pretty good right now. So there is that. And with that said, thank you for joining me on this installment of Snack and Chat. Hopefully your snack was delicious. I didn't have a snack today because, to be honest, I don't know if I can eat and talk at the same time. That's just too much of a struggle for me. But hopefully you had a delicious snack, and hopefully you enjoyed this installment of Snack and Chat. And with that said, don't forget to like and subscribe, because that is very important. And as always, in every single Kid Critic video, look out for the next video or review. and peace.